I'm going to create a playlist, like 2 playlists, talking about the true origin of the Black Madonna and Child and the true origin of Moses. I'm going to go through various videos showing that various creators have information proving what I say about the Black Madonna and Child and Moses, who are, the child and Moses are the same. They have a good chunk of the information, but they're not putting it together, and I will. So, the Black Madonna and Child and Moses are actually connected. So, the Black Madonna and Child, or the Black Madonna, is the Queen of Sheba. She's also known as Isis by ancient Kemet. She's also known as Makeda. I say this all the time because I know I'm right, because various people have the information, they're just not putting it together. Makeda, Isis, the Queen of Sheba, she goes to see King Solomon. Now, King Solomon outside the Bible is Amenhotep III. Notice that they don't want to tell you who King Solomon is outside the Bible. Like, King Solomon should be outside the Bible. Who is he? Well, he's Amenhotep III. And the reason why they don't want to discuss this is because he's not in the location that they say, which discredits them. So they don't want to talk about him outside the Bible. It's Amenhotep III. She goes to see him. Yada, yada, yada. They have a bet. She loses the bet and he sleeps with her. So she has a child out of wedlock. Remember, the Jews will tell you that, oh, Mary's a whore and Jesus is a bastard. Well, they're referring to the black version. When they talk about how Jesus is boiling in his own excrement in hell, they're talking about the white version. So she has a child out of wedlock. That's a disgrace. So she has to find a way out of that situation. Well, it's the Black Madonna and Child. She takes the long way home. She has the child in secret. She gives it to someone that she trusts. Then she goes back home. Now, remember the Moses story? And we're going to get back to the Moses story again. The Moses story where a child is found outside the palace. Well, that's her story. She finds a child outside the palace, but it's her child. So she takes her child back to her people. Her people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they look at the child, they look at her, and it's like, oh my God, you guys look alike. Which is amazing, right? Because they see her as a virgin. They don't know about her indiscretion. So she's still a virgin. And then she finds this child, and the child looks like her. God be praised, Only God could do something like that, because she just found the child, and the child looks like her. So word gets around. But then, she's not stupid. She's been tricked by King Solomon. She definitely takes that child, and she goes back to King Solomon, and she gets him to marry her and claim their son. This information is in the mythology, and it's also on the Hathor temple. Now, she becomes Queen T, and if you know anything about Queen T, she was respected by various heads of state around the entire world, and she's connected to the most powerful man in the world, and the most powerful kingdom in the world. So that's how the Black Madonna and Child gets around the entire world. Now, getting back to the Moses story, Akhenaten, or Amenhotep IV, then became Akhenaten. He is Moses. And notice that Amenhotep IV, we don't know what his childhood is. We know nothing about his childhood because he went back to Ethiopia. He ruled in Ethiopia for a time, and when his father died, that's when he came back. Okay? Yada, yada, yada. Then he left. There was an exodus. There was a huge exodus in ancient Kemet. He left to go somewhere else. You understand? And in various videos, what I'm saying, there are people who have the information, but they're not putting it together. And I'm going to show you that they have the information, and I'm going to put it together.